I've just landed in Dundee, in Tay Country, golf country, where you can land in the morning and play golf at an old Tom Morris course in the afternoon. Tay Country has all the classic courses that you may well be familiar with, but once you step off the beaten track, fortune favours the brave. The area divulges an embarrassment of riches, hidden gems, much copied originals, and a tapestry of hundreds of years of golfing history. But where to start? You could, of course, immediately head around the coast to try to get onto the famous old course at St Andrews, and be up all night queuing for a slot. Or you could play Kingsbarns.
That was absolutely ripped.
I am joined by pro Rachel McQueen to play what is her absolute favourite course, and to pick up some handy tips on how to conquer the phenomenal back nine. Rachel, 12th hole at Kingsbarns.
It's definitely my favourite hole on the golf course. So you've always got those like sea views,
yeah,
which I love. This hole is par 5, so your aim off the tee is probably at that bunker, and that bunker is 300 yards, so like there's no chance. Probably on the left edge is perfect, and it will release down, and there's that big slope that will take the ball all the way down there, so you'll be on the flat for your second shot.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I have no doubts. There you go.
After your second shot, you need to find yourself just in front of the last bunker on the right to open up the huge and undulating green. Needless to say, this hole can be a card wrecker when the wind is up. Compared to most of the other courses in the region, Kingsbarns, opened in the year 2000, is an absolute youngster.
You're on the dance floor.
Designed and constructed by Carl Phillips and Mark Parsinnen on what used to be coastal farmland, the course has quickly become a modern classic and is regularly ranked among the best links in the world. Taking inspiration from some of the best layouts and incorporating classic links design elements, Kingsbarns offers stunning views and some highly memorable holes along a more than 2-kilometre stretch of seafront.
Because everything's going to roll towards the sea, remember, so you don't want to overthink it, but
there's a bunker on the left side of the 15th green, and that's where you should aim your tee shot on this tough par 3. From the tips, the hole measures more than 200 yards, and any ball not perfectly struck has a good chance of finding a resting place among the many others that are regularly hit onto the rocky beach to the right. That was lovely. Depending on pin position and wind, this hole will demand anything from a mid-iron to a fairway wood. I can't believe it. I hit my ball onto the rocky beach at the 15th hole. The shore gives up 7 balls, none of which are mine. Risk, reward, dare and disaster are close relatives on the 15th. Visible from the course, Kingsbarns has some of the most beautiful family beaches. It's here you'll find the Cheesy Toast Shack with Kate and Sam, who are on a mission to bring you the most satisfying congregation of cheese and flavour known to mankind. Or you could just play Downfield.
Just play Downfield. It's good advice.
Although the Australian Peter Thomson, 5 times Open champion and highly acclaimed golf designer, once famously called the layout one of the finest inland courses I have ever played anywhere in the world, Downfield Golf Club, like many inland courses near famous seaside links, this parkland treasure, just minutes from Dundee Airport, might not really receive the respect it actually deserves. Downfield demands length off the tee, as it does accuracy and fine putting. Any brash attempt to overpower the course can lead to disaster, as most of the bunkers are well placed and finding one will often result in a drop shot. The Friendly Club welcomes its visitors in a spacious clubhouse, and the current professional Barry Smith offers a wide array of golfing goods in his well-stocked shop. So if the coastal links have given you a hard time in the wind, you might want to visit Downfield and enjoy some of the best parkland golf in Scotland. But don't underestimate the place. Some of the holes are really quite tricky.
First hole is a par 4. It's 440 yards. It's a little dog leg left to right. There's 3 bunkers down the right and 1 down the left. The line off the first tee is probably on the bunker down the left with a little fade, and try and use an actual left to right golf shot around the corner slightly. The bigger hitters might try and hit straight over the bunkers down the right and over the tree, but normally a little fade shot up the first is the right shot to play.
Awesome.
That's fine, that's okay, absolutely fine.
Awesome.
There you
Ah,
go.
good shot. Carry, go. Carry.
Carry. Stop.
Oh, stop, yeah.
Stop.
Get down, Zachary, get down. No pressure.
Did I tell you we're playing against each other?
That's, that doesn't help things.
Whoa!
There you go, ripped.
When the pin's middle pin, so I think you've got a couple of 100 yards into a wind. Bunker left, bunker right. It's a wide green, so it's a relatively wide target. If you can get it up around the green and hope to try and chip and putt, that'd be a good move. Well played. That's good.
Needs to go hit a bit heavy.
In the end, it's not going to be bad, but
It did quite lift, but
no, it didn't quite lift.
I mean, it finished.
While St Andrews, only a few miles across the water, is known as the home of golf, Carnoustie on the coast of Angus has come to fame as the town of golf. St Andrews might have the Jubilee, the new, and with the old course, some of the best links in the world. Carnoustie, on the other hand, can pride itself with what is recognised as one of the toughest tests in links golf, featuring the treacherous Barry Burn, tremendous glowing gorse, and some of the best bunkering in the world. The championship course is also known as Carnoustie for its brutish ability to bring even the best players in the world to their knees. Difficult it might be in good conditions, but when the wind is up, and the wind's up a lot around here, the layout can turn into a fully grown, nearly unplayable monster. Its grounds are steeped in golfing history. There is Hogan's Alley, the famous par 5 where the wee Iceman drove his way into the hearts of Scottish golfing aficionados during the 1953 Open.
Legend goes that in the morning round of the 3rd round, he hit his drive right between the bunker and out of bounds.
So where you are now?
Pretty much where I am now, so we'll call it Tatey's Alley from now on.
All right.
And in the afternoon, he hit his drive straight down Hogan's Alley again, and legend has it his ball landed on top of the divot that he played his shot from the morning. Now, everybody tells that story, and that's why the locals call it Hogan's Alley. They love it for that.
Great story, isn't it?
Ah, it's great.
The Spectacles is another great par 5. The 14th is quite an adventure. Often played into the wind, this hole demands a brilliant tee shot to avoid the treacherous bunkers placed in the landing zone. Any ball that doesn't find a good position in the fairway will bring the famous spectacle bunkers into play on your second shot. But even if you do manage to stay out of trouble on the way, your approach into the huge shared green will be a magnificent test of short iron play. It is likely that the 14th will leave you stunned and hurt, but Carnoustie does not loosen its grip after that. The finishing stretch of holes is one of the best in the world. You might remember a certain French gentleman called Jean van der Velde, who, while comfortably leading that year's Open, found himself bullied out of contention in 1999.
And you've got your work cut out now, Mark.
Let's go and make some history.
Never crossed my mind he was going to clatter into the grandstand and bounce backwards, and then goes back into the hay behind, which is extraordinary. Well, Sean, you've still got a bit of work to do here, sunshine.
Peter's not one I would like at all. It's steep down the bottom here, and he can get at it just, but he's got to go over the burn.
His golfing brain stopped about 10 minutes ago, I think. I don't believe it. This is... Oh dear, this is so sad and so unnecessary. Oh, Jean. What are you doing? What on earth are you doing? No, Jean, please, would somebody kindly go and stop him? Give him a large brandy and mop him down.
Now, I don't know. Many of us have tried these kind of shots, but he's going to sink deeper and deeper. It's all silty down here, and I don't think he's going to last very long.
No, this really is beyond a joke now. He's gone gaga, because this is quite... I've never seen anything like it before, and to attempt to hit the ball out of there is pure madness. He's thinking about it, but this is horrendous stuff, Alex. I just don't understand what on earth he was thinking about.
Van der Velde-esque. I feel Van der Velde-esque. I've got this sinking feeling.
Though this wonderful place might not be on your list of must-play courses, you might want to rethink your planning, because if you don't play Elie Golf Club, you will miss something really special. The club was formed in 1894, and the good members called on the one and only Tom Morris to design their original 9-hole layout. Proving their ongoing excellent taste in architects, they later asked James Braid to plan the second 9 in 1934. Just a few miles' drive from Dundee Airport, the tree-lined course meanders over beautiful, tranquil heathland and has some wonderful features, proving that this hidden gem is well worth a visit.
Or you could just play Scots Craig. Not exactly what you would call a true links course. Scots Craig, just across the water from Dundee, is still a classic and stern test of golf. Fast-running greens, firm but springy ground, and James Braid's straightforward redesign from 1923 make the trip to Tayport unmissable.
The course has a number of very memorable and exciting holes, but its best might well be the signature par 4 fourth. After a long drive into the fairway, you will need a precise second shot over a valley to a raised green that drops away on all sides.
A 4 on the much copied 4 of Scots Craig. Good evening.
Brilliant, classic links golf on the old course. Modern, tough and windswept fairways on the testing Craig Head course. Stunning, breathtaking vistas from all 36 holes. A modern clubhouse with views of the Gulf down by the shore and an open-armed welcome to all visitors. What else could you want? Some history maybe? A big name modern architect perhaps? Crail has it all. The Golfing Society was founded in 1786. Its Balcomie course was designed by Old Tom in 1892. Its much younger sibling, the Craighead course, in 1997 by Gil Hanser, today one of golf's most sought-after architects. The Society can look back upon some rich history and has many dearly held traditions, but still fully embraces the future. It is virtually impossible to talk about Crail without getting carried away. The place is golfing heaven.
Thank you very much.
Our connection to the growth of the game is quite allied closely to the caddies and the club makers up in St Andrews. So the most pivotal person, or a couple of the most pivotal people in the game of golf, Alan Robertson and Old Tom Morris. Well, the Society's oldest medal, the Lindsay Medal, is, as far as we know, the only trophy that Alan Robertson ever won. It was donated as an open competition, which meant that anybody, including crack golfers, the professional golfers of their day, they were able to play in it. Alan Robertson came down from St Andrews and won it in 1855. The next year, the club changed the rules and made it a closed competition. No surprise there. And then Alan Robertson died shortly after that.
Was that feathery ball still?
Well, we know, and you probably know the story, Alan Robertson refused to use gutta perches. So he would have won that using a feathery ball. Yes, you're right, back then it would have been a mix of rubber balls and featheries. But he was obviously a very talented guy. Absolutely. The other connection we have with the growth of the game is through Old Tom Morris, because when the club eventually started using stroke play to measure success in the game, of course they started to have a standardised course. Leading designer of his age, Old Tom Morris, came down, charged his guinea, as he did, plus expenses, for officially laying out Balcomie. And he came in 1895 to officially open the course, and the club that we have, that he used to officially drive in the course, is at the end of the trophy cabinet if we go down there and have a look. So Mark, you're very, very lucky, you're very privileged. We rarely bring these clubs out of the cabinet because they're very valuable for obvious reasons. I'm going to bring out the top club here, which you'll see has a silver band on it. You'll also see the grip is pristine. In fact, the whole club is pristine with the original whipping on it, the original cow horn, sole plate. That's because it was only ever used probably to hit the one shot, the opening shot. So made by the hands of Old Tom Morris himself, and very few people have touched it since Old Tom himself drove in. So have a wee look at that. And look,
it's fantastic.
You're of course a very similar height, and you have a similar sort of beard to the man.
Was Tom Morris
long?
Was he a
good sized guy, yeah.
Really?
And
because it's a long club, but then again, I trust they had a flatter swiping swing.
Well,
right?
What I do know about hickory.
This is great. I love this.
What I do know about
Thank you very
hickory
much.
clubs is you have to have
fantastic.
a very slow, flat takeaway to take away the whip out of the club.
Because
that's right. Yes.
Well, that was a very special moment. Thank you very much.
Or you could play Elie. I am joined by Hamish Galloway, the club's handicap secretary, to get the inside knowledge on the course.
It's a beautiful shot. You're putting for eagle.
Anyway.
This is pure links land.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing elevated, or the only thing that God didn't do was put the bunkers in there.
Elie Golf House Club is one of those special destinations that's name is respectfully whispered among golfers all around the world. Like many hidden gems in the Tay Country, the club has a long and illustrious history. Here, at his birthplace, you can play what the legendary James Braid described as the finest hole in Fife, the 13th at Elie.
Marginally better.
The green is long and narrow, with a massive runoff along its left-hand side, making it an unbelievably intimidating shot. Elie has some truly special holes, and some that you could probably play forever without even risking boredom. There are blind tee shots, hidden bunkers, and quirky approaches. The greens are tricky and many slope towards the sea. Most have subtle breaks, and playing them for the first time, you will likely end up with the occasional 3-putt.
Sweet, sweet. Well played. Time you tested out our bunkers are absolutely wonderful. Now, did you sneak past here? This is the question. Oh, welcome to Seaside Golf. Beautifully played. Now, if you make a 4 at this hole, you'll remember it all your life. Get on with the real business of life, which is to play more golf.
Well, not more than two rounds a day. I think there was it Marden who said, "Don't overdo it with your golf. 2 rounds a day is enough." I was going, "Wow, that's brilliant." Right.
Well played, sir.
Well played.
Good fun.
Thank you very much.
Good fun.
A stone's throw away, sitting on the cusp of the bay, is the very inviting Ship Inn. Head chef Mark Rona talks me through his ethos.
We use all fresh ingredients. We get daily fresh deliveries. We don't use any frozen products. We're trying to do most things in-house as much as we can. I try to stay as Scottish as I can, as seasonal as I can. As I said, all our meats gets hung for 28 days, like our beef gets hung especially for 28 days until now we get the beast in, we butcher it down. Our local estate is shooting our venison. He hangs it for us, he skins it, and then I bring it in and butcher the whole thing down, break it down into his parts.
So you get the whole?
I get the whole. Same as with pigs, local pigs we get from the owners of their little farmstead. We're also getting local pheasants, partridge, grouse, local lobsters, local cod.
Lobsters is great here, isn't it?
It's huge, as well as the crab and the clams. I try to stay as Scottish as I can, as seasonal as I can. We get a lot of golfers in here for a quick meal, who from a quick meal turns into a long sitting lunch. Because we have a beer garden, after a long day of golfing, they can sit outside, have a couple of burgers or fish and chips, have their beers, relax.
You've got rooms next door too.
We got rooms as well, 6 rooms.
Or you could play Monifieth.
Leaving Carnoustie on your way to Dundee, you will soon arrive in the small town of Monifieth, home to the 2 courses of the Monifieth Golf Links. The longer medal course was laid out by Alan Robertson and Alexander Prairie in 1845, while most reviewers will mention the long and demanding par 4s along the railroad tracks that have the potential to wreck your card from the very beginning. We find some of the par 3 holes on these relatively flat, narrow links highly enjoyable. When we were there, on a bright and warm morning, homegrown club professional Lee Stanton was kind enough to show us around.
The shortest par 3 on the course, you can hit anything from a 9-iron or a wedge when it's downwind, and anything from a rescue club, even sometimes a 3-wood into the wind.
A very tough hole with the gorse around it, because even if it doesn't really come into play, or doesn't seem to come into play, it's so close and it's so there. And it's distracting, it's intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. There's also a very narrow landing entrance to this green, because you've got a bunker hidden behind that wee dune on the left-hand side, and then there's one on the right as well. So when it is downwind and you've got to land the ball short, you've only got a gap of about 15 yards to land the ball to let it release up the green. Well done. Oh no, that was a 3, well done.
Oh, it was a 3, yes. Excellent. No trip to Monifieth is complete without stopping at Haley's place, the Wee Cook Cafe, looking out over the 18th hole and eating one of her legendary pies.
Your pie today, Mark, this is one of our speciality pies. This is a haggis, neeps and tatty pie.
Excellent. So
yeah.
neeps are?
Neeps are Swedes. So you know the kind of purpley round, kind of bulbous tubers. It's cut with a bit of carrot, and then the tatties are the potatoes, which is the mash. So you've actually got a meal in one pretty much in a pie.
I think I'm just going to open it up.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Or you could play Panmure. I absolutely whacked that one. Great.
Panmure. Wonderful Panmure. No journey to Tay Country is complete without a trip to Panmure. The clubhouse alone, with its Hogan lounge, is a must-see. Surrounded by treasured trophies and portraits of past captains and champions, you can relax here after your round and sip your Pimm's in true style. Opened in 1906, the iconic white building was modelled on the clubhouse of the Royal Calcutta Golf Club, bearing witness to the strong commercial ties between the Tay region and the Indian jute industry of the 19th century. It was here that Ben Hogan famously practiced for his one and only Open Championship in 1953. His legacy to the course is a hidden bunker on the 6th hole. Nowadays known as the Hogan Hole, the 6th is a tight, by modern standards fairly short, par 4 dogleg with a difficult uphill second shot to a slippery green. It is guarded on the right by the aforementioned bunker. If you ever play Panmure in the wind, and most people who play there will have that pleasure, the odds are high you will find yourself in this brilliantly placed hazard. Playing tribute to Ben Hogan, you can try the bunker he added until you achieve the levels of mastery shared by the Hawk and myself. Or you could play Montrose. There is written proof that golf has been played on the shores of Montrose since 1562. The undulating links run through wonderful coastal dunes, most fairways are lined with massive gorse bushes. Many a tee box offers great views of the nearby North Sea that with every winter storm threatens to eat away at these beautiful playing grounds. The course is full of stunning and sometimes quirky holes. The ground here runs fast. Natural bumps, hollows and the gorse are major design features. My guide on my Montrose adventure is Dennis Rice, the spirit and beating heart of all that is good about the game. Born and raised on Montrose links, Dennis is always ready with help and advice on how I can improve my game.
Terrible! You are awful, Mark. 3rd time lucky. The professionals say putt for dough, Mark. You're in the poorhouse. He hasn't really read the hills, has he? Oh, Mark!
You can probably play this hole for 50 years without knowing what to do.
Climate change and the winter storms have had an immense impact upon the historic links. Massive changes to some fairways and the relocation of tee boxes have been necessary. The course is in permanent evolution and nature itself is still working as its architect.
It's sad, worrying. And the one thing about this course that people often comment as visitors is that you can play a seaside course and not see the sea. You can see the sea on this course.
It's true. It's true. Because
it's a real shoreline. Right. I've had an American visitor from New York, and he just couldn't. He was lost for words. He looked. He said, "The ocean." It was wonderful. We're now going to play one of our feature holes, the third. It's known all around the world and has appeared in several golf magazines. When we were boys, we called this 3 or 13 because you either got it in 3, which is the par, or you got 13 because there's trouble in front and there's even worse trouble behind. So you've got to be on the green. I think you're okay.
No, I think I'm too short.
Are you short?
I'm short.
Better short than long. Much better short than long.
I think it might be a 13.
You can putt off the screen, that's another hazard. I've seen very good players putt off the screen, down the hill. Well done! Well done, that man. Got one? If I'm out just howking, I can come home with 50, 60, easily. And this is a good place because you know on a long hole like this, people are reaching for the green with their second shot, and that's when they go wrong. They're over trying too hard and they hook it into these bushes. And they only have a certain time to find them now. If I was a good golfer, I wouldn't be finding balls because I wouldn't know where they go. Being a bad golfer, I know where they go. I wash them, divide them into 3 classes. The top class go to friends and golfers in the club. The second and third class go to the juniors and to charity shops. It's many, many, many tens of thousands, and I think we must be near 100,000 now. I told you, Mark, that some of the men in the golf club said they were now writing on their ball, "Hello, Dennis." Let's go home.
If heaven is no better than this, it will be good enough for me, Dennis said, and I cannot help but agree. Fly to the heart of golf. Tay Country.
And he said he was a boy, he came to Montrose on holiday and he got a 3 at that hole. And he's been playing golf ever since.